Yo, boys, so this market recap slash trade recap is coming while the market's still running. Matter of fact, it looks like we were about to get tagged out break even. But regardless, we're still going to run through it because the setup was here. This was first TP, as it makes sense. And especially when we get a clear sweep, such as me personally, you got what am I looking for? You got partials to take. And on top of that, this still may come down. It still may go up. Who knows? Not too concerned about it. It's Friday. But let's go from the top down here. So I actually ended up taking a loss today. And so as you can see here on ES, we did not break structure on this 4-hour candle within market open. So what does that leave our bias? That leaves our most recent structure to a break structure to the upside, leaving our bias bullish. We have what? A 4-hour imbalance. You can see lining from this wick to the top of this body. Cool. We're going to keep that in mind. This candle comes into that price range and rejects out of it, sends the next candle to these candle highs. So let's scale down into the 1 hour. You can see we have Asia lows, and then we have, whoa, wait. Yeah, we have Asia lows, and then we have London lows created within here, and then we have pre-market lows. So pre-market swept out both previous session lows, making our drawn liquidity, for me anyway, London highs, and that would be final TP. So with that being said, we are waiting for price to come into a 1 hour confluence. We sweep these lows. We as well are in already a 4-hour imbalance, so we're going to use that as it is. Come into the 5-minute. We have market open right here. This not 8:30 candle, this is our pre-market lows. We have a 9:15 candle, which is pre-market highs. We as well have like an intermediate swing low here, just a higher low, but there's still going to be orders sitting within it. So nonetheless, we have price push up, take pre-market highs, sweep this high, which is part of London session, but it's just a high anyway, so there is orders above it, and we fill this entire bearish imbalance. Then we dump hard, sweep these lows here, take them out of the market, and then we push up. So due to the fact that, real quick here, the 1 hour is on a bearish bias in my eyes. The reason being is because NQ broke structure to the downside on the 1 hour, ES didn't. I'm going to take it and play it safe and keep myself on a higher time frame. So we done our analysis within sweeping liquidity all on the 5-minute. Coming to the 15-minute, this is where we're looking for a break of structure plus a third confluence. You can see here, this high gets broke. This is confirming our buy pressure. We leave a 15-minute confluence, and now this is where I got cooked. We have the entire setup to then take the long position out of here, right? But, let me just go on the micro real quick. That way it's not charted. So you can see that we have this bullish imbalance, which is our third confluence. What I did and what my mistake was pressing the enter as soon as we got into it. This is a newbie mistake, man. If I'm being real, this is so newbie. Stops below the imbalance, TP the highs. This is a newbie mistake and nothing but it. Now, the reason I say this is due to the fact that I normally should not be taking losses like this. Yes, they will be a part of the game, but at the end of the day, part of my strategy is to wait for 1-minute buy pressure to come out of my confluence of interest. So when price pushes in with this candlestick, we push into this 15-minute imbalance, I can then scale down and see, okay, I'm waiting for buying pressure out of it. So what is this? We get a break of structure to the upside. We're still within it, and then we get a tiny little imbalance within here. We can take that. This is our setup. We already made these lows within breaking this, so our stops will just be below these lows, and our entry would come from this candlestick. So stops below these lows, and that's a bare minimum drawdown trade. Matter of fact, it's an insane trade, but let's be more realistic with it. If we're looking for the confirmation, which is abided by the rule book or the playbook, we're looking for a break of structure out of the confluence, which is this candlestick. And look at what we get here. We get a proper imbalance, and we have the break of structure. So we have everything here that checks off from the top to the bottom in the absolute final step right here. And this is the step that I missed. So I entered as soon as we touched this imbalance. What happened? My stops were below the imbalance. I got taken out immediately. Okay, clearly I made an error, so let's reevaluate. And as we were doing with the Discord, chilling with the homies, you can see we get this 1-minute break up, break of structure, imbalance. Take that. I mean, I would have limit orders set here on this 1-minute imbalance because this is telling me buy pressure. Stops below these lows, minimal drawdown, First TP, these highs, that's nearly a 1 to 2 in itself. And then I would be taking London highs, which are up here. That would be my final target. I would leave a runner on for. And as you can see, we then leave this area. We just continue up. And that's that. That's a trade in itself. So that's where I went wrong today. I completely disregarded the step of waiting for the final buying pressure out of our execution point. Our execution point was this 15-minute imbalance. I didn't wait for buying pressure out of it, and I got cooked. I ate the consequence that comes by my actions, and that was not waiting. So I'm going to be honest, and it honestly feels from seeing this setup, a lot of my setups this week have been partially rushed. I've been impatient, and honestly, it's part of the game. We're human. We all deal with our own emotions. We all have emotions. Everyone can say that, yeah, they're a brick wall, they're an iron wall. Definitely said it before, but you still do have those emotions. And with that being said, that's pretty much the trade recap. This will be more of a trade recap rather than a market recap. On NQ as well here, it was kind of a sketchy setup. So let me just chart out the macro. Yeah. So from the 4 hour, you can see we did not break structure to the downside. So our bias is bullish. It's going to the 1 hour. We broke structure to the downside. So we have mixed higher time frames. What do we then use? We use a 15-minute. So I did not see a trade on NQ. And if we go into the 15-minute, actually, sorry, we'll mark out our confluences. We have the exact same. These are previous day lows, just a draw on liquidity. We've got Asia lows and London lows within there. Just draws on liquidity. We sweep them. We as well come into what? A 4 hour imbalance, as you can see. So these are our higher time frame confluences in our PD arrays. We come into them, and now we're going to scale into the 15. We see that we get a 15-minute break to the upside, but what are we missing from here? Which stops the trades on NQ. We get a break of structure, we get no third confluence. This could be the third confluence. Don't get me wrong. You could use that. But within all this time, I'm not interested in it. I'm not taking it. And even on the 5-minute, we get a break of structure to the upside. From these pre-market highs, we get no third confluence. No third confluence. The only third confluence is within here. But now here is the issue. We do not break structure on this leg up. So I would not be using this. It doesn't look strong to me. Due to that, like I would have wanted to see this get broke, and then I would have been more pleased to be open to taking an entry. Although out of my trading window for right now. But that's NQ, so there's not really much of a setup for me to take on NQ following my strategy. And that's that. I mean, it should have been a green day without a doubt, but we fucked up. We sold the bag, and at the end of the day, it's just part of the game. You know, we live, learn, and we continue. So we're going to put this week behind us. The last couple weeks have been rough. In fact, they have been rough. Payouts are getting slim. So we're just eating into profits these last couple weeks, but we got our entire lives ahead of us, and each and every day the markets are going to be here. So there's no need to sit your ass down and just continue trading. Wait for the better opportunities, wait for the proper opportunities, and follow your plans, fellas, and you will be just fine. And this is a prime example. The plan, in fact, did happen. The plan, in fact, did play out. But what? My human input decided I'm not going to wait for the last setup or wait for the last confluence and the last box to check off of the strategy. Instead, I'm just going to fire away. That resulted in me eating a loss, then watching price run to where I would like to see it to go. And that's that. So it's just a friendly reminder to follow your plans literally like a robot. And at the end of the day, that's the day. So I'm going to catch y'all on Monday.